What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn, and I'm giving you an update on the fish that I purchased at the recent NEC auction. I've had them for about a month now, so I'm going to take a look at them and take a look at the status of this long-running, extra high aquarium that I'm keeping them in. So stay tuned, grab a beverage, snack of choice, and let's chill out.
From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh, but...
Well, in just this past March, we had a NEC virtual convention and virtual auction at such time that I bought my first pair of blue angels. I've had my eye on angels a long time, and I just never got into pulling the trigger and picking up these beautiful fish here. And I just had an opportunity to pick up a pair, and these guys are so awesome here that I was lucky enough to have the space and picked them up the auction for a very, very good price. I am no angelfish expert by any means, and I'm hoping if any of you guys have any tips, you can leave them in the comments below, because this is my first pair in all these many years of keeping fish. And they're very beautiful fish. They're very inquisitive. They're very character. They have a really interesting character. I'm assuming, if I'm not mistaken, my female here is the inquisitive one, always looking to see what I'm doing and always swimming about the mid frame of the tank. This is a very heavily planted 30-gallon extra high aquarium. It's over 2 feet high and about 1.5 feet from the wall. And that's my male there coming out, because I've brought all the lights and things out. They probably think that they're eating. And I've just tried to keep them in a very heavily planted, more or less community tank. I have some Variatus platies in there. I have some mollies in there. And other than that, it's a very quiet tank. Not busy at all. You can see that they don't bother any of the other fish. You can see that the plant growth is very dense. And I haven't had them bother any of the little fish. Oh, I actually have some brilliant rasboras there. If you can see them right there, I have 2 of those in there. Brilliant rasbora, my mollies and gold dust. And just very interesting tank to follow. I hope that the glare isn't killing everybody. As you can tell, I have a very strong garage light. If you see my previous videos, I have my garage light powering this tank, and you can tell it does its job. This is a very tall tank from top to bottom, and I got growth all the way down to the bottom of the tank here. You can see the roots growing all the way into the gravel past SpongeBob there. And I just thought that that was a really nice tank to put a pair of fish in that are already been paired up. They probably came from a much wider home before me picking them up. And I'm hoping that this is adequate. I may move them to something bigger down the road, or actually pull some of the plant growth out. But they actually like really bury themselves in the grass, and they swim all under this base of what is my artificial tree trunk here. I know it's hard to tell with the glare there, but I'll zoom in. This tank has been running for about 12 years, and I've taken it apart probably a dozen times and replanted it and trimmed the plants and everything else. But fish really love diving into the Java fern tree and all of the root growth that I have there. So I'm hoping to get these guys to even maybe spawn in there. I've had several other species spawn in this tank. You can see the Variatus coming up to the top there. They just dive in and out of the plant growth. And being that these angels are in the cichlid family, I was always wondering whether they would be aggressive towards smaller fish, and they really aren't. They take a liking to that little spot right there. You can see this my female there swims straight up, always looking. There may even be eggs on the underside of these leaves. I'm not sure, but it's very, very possible because I see her swimming in that fashion all the time, and they kind of like that little area. But I have a Eheim canister, rather a fluval, my mistake, a fluval canister down there powering the filtration, and I have an aqua clear on the back of the tank that just provides a lot in the ways of circulation and clarity for the tank. I dose a little bit of what I will show you right here, if I can find it, some black water extract. I put a very, very small amount of black water extract in there just to add the tannins and to bring the pH down a little bit. This is usually not $6. I got it at our aquarium auction a while ago, and I just had this in the storage there. So supposedly promotes, you know, that Amazon habitat and excuse me, adds a lot of the natural tannins to the water, and I just thought that that's helpful. And as you can see, the fish are really well colored up. Let me zoom in there. Very, very distinctive markings on the fish, are very, very well mannered and behaved. You can see right next to their little pinplax rock. When I feed them, I always feed them in the same spot, which is right over my little pinplax island rock there. So when I come out here, they tend to gather right in this little area. Really beautiful fish. If there's any other information you guys can help me out with, please leave them in the comments, because sharing is caring. And I'm always learning more and more about the fish. I'm sure at the size of these fish, they probably could use a little more space. I was gonna put them in the my big cube, but I have so many nano fish in there. I was worried about the temperament of these guys being a problem. That just hasn't been the case. They are really, really docile, really beautiful fish. So this is more of an update for the auction status of those fish and update on the tank. Like I say, this tank has been running for about 12 years, maybe more. Java fawn, Java moss. I have some Anubias in the back, pothos, which I cut every probably 2 to 3 days. You can see it grows down to the floor and into the other tank, of which I'm going to probably remove all of that pothos from my little quarantine tank. You can see it's growing out of the tank and onto the floor. I always end up stepping on it. And as a reminder, I have this little picture of me when I was a little kid, my first tank. I must have been like 8 years old. But yeah, I'm gonna be keeping a close eye on these guys. The temperature in the tank, just to give you the parameters, stays at about 78. It's near my boiler, so it stays warm all the time. Very heavily planted tank. I try to feed them twice a day or after work really heavily. 2 feedings about an hour apart. I've been feeding them some freeze-dried bloodworms and some mixture of hikari pellets and some brine shrimp, some flake foods, tetra flake foods. Just been mixing up the diet a little bit to see if I could get them to feel at home and maybe even spawn for me there. So this is D with a little Sunday swim, the angelfish family there. Once again, take care of those fish. Sharing is caring. We're always learning something new. Nobody's an expert, which is why we love that hobby. And until next time, I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna sit back, have my cool beverage, and watch my fish. Love, peace, and hair grease, everybody. See ya.